Hey guys, I wanted to share 5 lessons that we've learned from using data to more effectively drive our sales and marketing effort at our startup. This is extremely important. Doesn't matter what stage you're at as a company, whether you're trying to find product market fit or whether you're trying to scale, it's important to get this practice set up as early as possible. Lesson number 1 that we've learned is figure out a way to quickly instrument. If you need to be using the efforts of an engineer on your team to actually instrument all the different metrics that you want to see, that's not going to scale. You should be using tools like Heap, Mixpanel, having a good marketing automation system with analytics, having a CRM that has reports and forecasting. All that stuff will actually cut down the time needed to have an engineer do the work for you. One of the first things we saw immediately was when we were depending on an engineer to build all these tools and functions, it just could not scale. There's a lot of great SaaS products out there that you can leverage, use that, and then stitch it all together. Lesson number 2 that we've learned is that there are so many signals that you could be measuring, and sometimes we get into analysis paralysis and we try to measure everything. When you try to measure everything and optimize everything, you actually move the needle on nothing. So one of the things that YC does for their cohort companies, people do in Y Combinator, is pick one metric for that week or for that month, or in your case, maybe for that quarter, and really double down on driving that metric. And if you can double down on driving that metric, what ends up happening is you can actually see a tangible result, and it gets your team motivated, and then it lets you see, okay, what other related metrics should I be optimizing around? So focus is the most important thing when you are doing data-driven sales marketing, or even for your own product that you're building. The third thing is understanding attribution. By attribution, what I mean is understanding how some signal was impacted by another signal. So if your revenue was down or your churn was up, you need to be able to understand, okay, what were the leading or lagging indicators? For us, we think of churn as actually a lagging indicator. It's a byproduct of several other metrics acting against each other. So for example, if the number of logins has gone down or overall engagement has dropped, or the person has sent a lot of support tickets, or they're not responding to different sorts of email efforts from customer success, those are all leading indicators that tell me, okay, this person is more likely to churn. So have those leading indicators in place, and the only way to do that is understanding which leading indicators attribute to the overall core metric that you're trying to drive. The number 4 thing that we found is that you have to be really patient. One of the things about whether you're doing content marketing or email marketing or any sort of effort, it takes a lot of time to seed. Initially, you might only be seeing 100 views, but you have to keep pushing consistently, keep rolling out the data, keep optimizing, and try to go for those incremental gains, those 3%, 4%, and 5% gains. When it comes to growth and data, it has to accrue over time and it has to build up. And it's not something where one night, one day you wake up and it's automatically, you've hit jackpot. That's not how data works. And that's one of the things we had to learn the hard way. Number 5, the most important thing to get all these things in place is to understand your funnel. Whether you're selling a self-service product, or you have a complex enterprise sale, or you have an inside sale approach, you need to be able to understand what are the steps, whether it's your marketing funnel and how that connects to your sales funnel and how that connects to your product funnel and how your leads are coming in. All that needs to be drawn out. You need to literally have a customer journey from the first touch point that your customers, that you talk to your customers or your prospects to the time that they get handed off to customer success or your support team. Having that entire architecture of your funnel lets you better optimize around which metrics you want to focus on. And that's super, super key to doing well here. And I'll give one more bonus thing. And this is something that has to be driven culturally around your entire team, is everyone has to be on board with data. If people are approaching you and saying, hey, this is a waste of time, we don't need this, I know what I'm doing, I have lots of experience, you have to understand that data is what lets you see through why your org is performing well or not performing well. And it's not just valuable to the executive, but it's also valuable to everyone else, because there's no more, I feel like this, I feel like that. It's very much the data doesn't show that we're getting the results for the efforts we're putting in. So you need to be able to quantify everything. So these are my 5/6 tips around data. 1 being, make sure instrumentation is easy and that you use tools to quickly instrument. 2, don't try to optimize everything. Pick 1 or 2 core metrics and try to drive around that. 3, you need to understand that you have to be able to attribute why a metric is moving in a particular direction. And that the best way to do that is by using leading indicators. 4, know that it takes time. Data is something that you have to build up. And it takes effort in order to see the results that you want to see. 5, understand your entire architecture, your funnel for your sales, marketing, and product, how you're getting those marketing qualified leads, sales qualified leads, or product qualified leads. And the 6th, the bonus one, is you have to drive the culture for your entire team, getting the entire team on board from day one. Awesome, guys. Thanks.